Hey there, I'm Zimnoch, and in this episode, we're going to talk about why open houses are for agents, not owners. So this is very common with newer investors. They buy the first house, they're excited, they rehab it, then it's the time to put the house on the market. And they're checking on it every day, making sure it looks just spanking, just everything is clean. And then the agent gets involved, puts the house on the market. They schedule the first open house, and guess who wants to show up? Yes, the investor. Why would an investor want to show up to the open house? Well, it's because they're so emotionally connected to this property. This is like their masterpiece. Think about this. This is like they've been working on this property for the last 3-4 months, putting their sweat and just everything they got into it. They honestly feel that it will be better if they're at the open house because they think they're going to actually help the agent sell the property. One thing that could happen is the investor is going to be pretending they're a secret shopper. And they will literally start drilling the agent with all these questions because they just want to know, do you know everything about my house, Mr. or Mrs. Agent? And the truth is, the agents are not responsible for knowing everything about your property. It's actually going to work against them if they know too much and they answer every single question that the potential client might be asking. We as agents, our goal is to actually be able to collect the information of a serious buyer. The only way we could do that in most cases is to actually understand what they're seeking. If we don't have the answer, that is our opportunity to say, well, can I get your information? And what would be the best way to get you that answer? Because I don't have it right this moment. So we actually are trained to know enough about the house, but not everything, because it's just our opportunity to get their contact information and actually turn that potential lead or walk-in into a buyer. Second thing that could happen is where the investor actually shows up and announces themselves to the agent that's holding the open house that they are the owner, but then they start walking behind the buyers or potential buyers thinking that they might be of help trying to answer questions, and no one likes to have someone walking behind them as they're touring a house. That just is awkward. Think about it. How would that feel if you went into a house and someone is walking behind you constantly? But some of them do that because they really think they're helping, because they just want to answer whatever questions they might have. And another thing that's huge is that they actually, once the actual potential buyer realizes that the owner is in the property, they might actually start talking to you, the owner, if you're the owner in the house, instead of the agent who's holding the open house. And they might start talking about price. And that will create a very, very weird situation because now you literally might be negotiating without knowing about your property. That is not good. You might say something that will cost you potentially thousands of dollars once they're ready to write an offer on that house. So please leave that to the agent, because an agent, a professional agent, has a flow. They have a script that they're using. They have a flow of how they want to talk to people, how they want to release them to go look, how they want to receive them as they're walking out, what they're going to say. And if you are there as the investor, you are messing up the flow, just so you know. So what do you do if you're the agent and you're working with newer investors? Well, it's simple. It sounds simple, but I think many agents are maybe afraid to say this. So I want to help you. I want to help you to set the expectations a week prior at least, so the investor knows not to come. And simply don't say, hey, you're probably planning on coming to my open house. No. We can't ever assume they are. So just say, hey, listen, I just know from experience that newer investors, they're very excited about your property, just I'm sure like you are, and they like to come to the open houses. However, let me just explain the standards, why that is not normal, and what could happen. And literally just say, don't assume they're coming. So say, I don't know if you were planning. I'm not saying you are. However, if you were thinking about it, here's the reasons why you might want to reconsider. And go back to what I said previously and write those reasons out in a nice format, obviously, right? Simple, to the point, and set the expectations early. And that's how you create a win-win. Analyzing a property before you buy it is obviously very important. However, what I find that most people just do it wrong. And I know that alone, one mistake could cost you tens and thousands of dollars. It could literally cost you your business. And I don't want that to happen to you. So I created a step-by-step property analysis guide sheet to walk you through exactly what to look for to make sure your deal that you're looking at is worth buying. To get the property analysis guide sheet, just go to randyzimnoch.com.